Hi, everybody. It's Patty the Tinkerer's wife here, and it's past time for me to do an update. Yeah, it has been a minute. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in to check this out, to check in on me, and to hear what's been going on. Welcome, everybody who's new here. I know I've got some new subscribers. Thank you so much for uh, stopping in and getting to know me a little bit and checking out the videos. Speaking of videos, I know it's been a long time since I've done a longer video. I've done some short videos recently, which have been fun. But honestly, I have really struggled this last year, and it's been part of my transitioning from going from the house I lived in Portland 2 years ago to living in the apartment for a year, then finding this place a year ago, and now living here a year, which I again realized lots of firsts. Well, it's the first everything. My first home, all by myself, no husband to help. I lived with the man who fixed everything. So it was a lot. And I had a lot of different things go on. Everything from my master cylinder on my car deciding it wasn't going to work, and I had to take it into a shop and they couldn't find the part. I guess I have a unicorn part that's needed for my car. Um, and just real quick, what that's about is it's a 2000 Isuzu Rodeo. And what the manufacturers, part manufacturers do, or what they have done, is they have the same part number and it should be the part that fits on my car. But no, it's not, because they've changed the part. The new parts that they make are not the same as the original parts, but it has the same number on it. I don't understand that kind of a mindset. It makes it impossible for mechanics to fix cars, but maybe that's the way they want it. All I know is it's been really frustrating. Even the guys at the shop were a little frustrated by it. Poor guys. I feel sorry for them, but they did a good job. They got it running. They got the master cylinder so it's stabilized and working. I just kind of have to keep an eye on it. But so far, it's doing great. I am doing well, too. Speaking of doing well, I hope you all are doing well. I hope that you are all staying warm right now. It is still in the teens here. It was 16 when I got up this morning. Excuse me, it got down to 14 at one point. And then it popped up to 16, and I don't know what it is right now. I just noticed that my windows, which sweat badly because they're the old 1974 aluminum frame windows that are original to this manufactured home that I bought, they have ice at the bottom. Several of them have ice at the bottom. And I was like, oh, great. They're on my list of things that needs to be changed. So I want to get new windows. It'll make it a whole lot difference. I'll be able to see out my windows. Look at this. Let me show you. That's what it's like looking out my windows right now. Can't see much. I guess the nice thing is people can't see in too. So, but when I lived in Portland, I had a big, it was like living in a fishbowl, because we had an 8 foot by 5 foot picture window in the living room, and the windows were the drapes were always open wide. We got so in Portland, we wanted to know who was out in front, because we had a lot of foot traffic and a lot of regular car traffic going by our house. And it got to be kind of a sketchy neighborhood the last 15 years we lived there. So it was good to know who was out there. But I also made a lot of friends being that open. It was so funny because a lot of people, they've got the little windows, they got their shades drawn, and they're watching their TV. Not me. Nope, not me. So anyway, so I moved out here a year ago. And it was a blessing to find this house. I knew it was going to take some work. Um, I had planned on replacing the water heater and probably the furnace, which I knew both of those would eventually have to be replaced. I was not expecting the situation with the car to crop up. But anyway, recently I've had the furnace looked at because it died on me. Actually, what it was is the thermostat, the automatic thermostat, turned into an automatic idiot and was making the heat pump and the furnace fight one another. I'd hear the furnace come on, and then I'd walk by a vent, and there's ice cold air coming out. I mean, it's like 40 degrees outside. Why is the air conditioning on? So I called the HVAC guy that was a friend of my old HVAC guy and neighbor, Jimmy. And I called Roger's place, and his son came out and looked at it, figured out everything was fine, figured out it was what the problem was. We got it back running again. I had heat again. Yay, thank you, Jesus. 2 weeks later, it did it again, only not differently. This time it just went out. What happened was the breaker blew. And I had smelled it smelled funny a couple times when the furnace started up, and I thought, it's probably just something outside. You know how you get things coming in from outside. And I thought, well, on this leaky house, something's being pulled in from outside. Nope. So it was going to be 4 or 5 days before I could get somebody in here to look at it. So the guy came and he looked at it. It was on a Tuesday, and, told me exactly that it was the breaker. Somebody had gifted me with a wonderful little heater, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's really a good one. I'll probably do a little review on it because I really love the heaters. They are real quiet and very efficient. Probably one of the safer ones I've seen for this style. Anyway, getting back to the breaker situation. When they had repaired my furnace, I think it might have been them, it could have been me, but I think it might have been them, had hit the water heater breaker, or maybe the water heater breaker went off when the other one went off. I don't know. All of a sudden, 2 days later, I had no hot water. And so I'm like freaking out, I had no heat and then no hot water at the same time. And I'm like, this is crazy. And so friends come over. They bought the breaker for the furnace for me, brought food, brought their kids. I got hugs, got people. I have to have people. I love people. I got my people fix. It's a family I really enjoy a lot. And so that was nice. Made sure the breaker was back on for the water heater. Everything works. I am back doing business. I love it. But I'm going to have to get a new furnace. So my furnace is going to be getting replaced. That'll be probably around $6,000 or $7,000. So I'm thinking probably around $6,000. I got a quote from him for about $5,600 or something. I have to go in and look at it. I haven't done the line by line on it yet, but I'll probably get quotes from a couple other people. But I really like this guy. His name is Roger. And, he was trained by my neighbor, and I have a lot of respect for him and for Roger, just the kind of people they are. And the people that Roger hires are like that too. He brought a new guy with him, and this kid is somebody who loves helping elderly people. I mean, even if I wasn't older, I would still think that's awesome, because a lot of people don't like working with older people. But this kid does, and he's just a mountain of a kid. He used to play football. Really sweet guy. Anyway, so I feel like I've had 75 repairmen through here. I've had 2 plumbers in here. I had to have underneath my house was a hose that was hooking up the hot water to the regular water line. That's a no-no. HVOCs or VOCs, I could smell them coming out of my cold water, and I'm like, what the heck is this about? So I had that that was early on. Okay, the other thing, let's see. I had a really good neighbor for about, we got to know each other like the first 6 months I was here, and for about 3 months we were really close, and then her dog, just couldn't wait for me to, we were like best friends. The dog, he might as well have been my dog. Bixby. He's such a sweetie. I miss him, and I miss Julie too. And I miss her cat. Didn't get to deal much with the cat, but they used to sit in her window and look at me and, wait for me to come out. It was really funny. Are you going to come outside? Anyway, Julie moved to Ohio with her son and daughter-in-law, and I guess is doing really well there, and I'm happy for them. Her son and daughter-in-law both got good jobs. And their little boy, who he's just a peach of a kid too. So yeah, it was sad to see them go. And the day she left, my new neighbors here moved in, and they had just, they were just about done. And I had walked to the back, their back along here, there's a cover over the cement pad that runs alongside my house. It's like a patio. I get to the end of the pad and I go to walk into the backyard with this flat of plant, which includes the big pots and the little pots. And it's a 20 by 20 flat. So it's like this wide. And I have to kick a water diverter that's connected to the downspout out of my way with my right foot. And I kick it out of the way and step over, make a nice, good step. What I don't see is that underneath that water diverter was an old root that was sticking up out of the ground nearly 2 inches. I caught it with my left foot, went down smack hard on my knee. My knee is still healing. It's still somewhat numb. It probably always will be a little numb. Also damaged my foot. So I am looking at foot surgery here very soon. It will be 6 to 8 weeks off my feet. I will be going into skilled nursing, most likely, because I live alone. I have steps. I can't do things they want me to do by myself, like change the bandages. I won't be able to reach them because I also have a hip that I have an iliotibial band that's really strained in it, and there's no way I wouldn't be able to even reach it. I can barely cut my own toenails, and they want me to do that, but no, it's not going to work. So anyway, enough about my health. That'll be coming up, so I'll probably be sharing more about that later. I'll just leave it at that. So last time this is like the second time I've done this video. And the last time it was like ridiculously long. It was like almost 40 minutes long. And I've got to get this down. Get this down. Other things that happened this year, besides that, is the plans that I had for the garden in the back, they got squashed by the owner. The manager had approved them. The owner said no. I had already purchased the containers that were supposed to go in them. And I literally was on my knees. I was so discouraged because I was injured. I couldn't do my garden now. What was I going to do? This would be the second year I've not been able to garden. And after gardening for 30 years and then not being able to, I can't tell you what that does to a person. I honestly can't. Those of you who garden understand. But those who don't, take the one thing you love doing and then all of a sudden you can't do it. And everything's out of your control. So I had to really just sit and rest and wait. And I did a lot of praying and a lot of seeking God about what that was. I started battling depression. All these things started happening. This is all part of why I haven't been on. Oh, my son made it to Biggs Junction. They were coming from Pendleton, and it is really dicey out there right now. The roads out here in Oregon are really dicey. Biggs Junction is about halfway between Pendleton and Portland. You go across the Columbia River to Goldendale from Biggs Junction. There's a bridge that goes over there. So that's how we used to go up to Yakima to see my parents when they lived up there. So anyhow, those of you who are familiar with that area, you'll know. And the Columbia River Gorge is one of the more treacherous places to drive when the weather is inclement, especially if there's wind, and I'm praying there's not wind. I've watched cars get blown off of that road when it's, icy. And hopefully people are not being idiots. Usually, unfortunately, there's always idiots out on the road, so I'm praying there won't be any near my family. So it'll be nice to have them back. He had a friend whose mother passed away, and so he was going, really close friend that he'd gone to school with, I think it was. Anyway, he went to support his friend and the family. I have a very good son. He knows how to be a good friend. He loves people well. I'll just say that. My Samuel, he loves people well. So where was I? Totally blew my train of thought. And we're at 14 minutes. I'm watching the clock. I'm trying not to make this a 30-minute video. Anyway, so I ended up sitting and spending a lot of time being thoughtful about things, looking at my own attitudes, my own reasons why. Realized I was anxious. I was very anxious about getting the garden in part because of everything that's going on in the country. You know, we hear all the time, food shortages, this, everything that was going on was just bad. And I'd already come from a stressful situation living in Portland. That was like living in a nightmare over there, with all the Antifa and anarchists setting fire to things, and then the huge wildfires we had that one year, the smoke coming into the city. And I knew people in the that had to evacuate. My granddaughter was out with a group called Cowgirl 911 that was rescuing horses and other farm animals and getting them out of harm's way in the middle of the fire. They were driving, I mean, there was fire on the sides and they were driving down the road trying to get to a farm. I mean, it was nuts. I still want to do that video. Oh, by the way, Keisha, if you're watching, we need to do that video. I was going to interview her and see what that was like. So maybe we can do that here. That might be something I'll do in the future. Anyway, getting back on track here. So I let go of the garden plans. That took a little bit of time. I had started realizing, oh, I need a deck out here. I started making plans for how I was going to do other things that would serve me better than what's going on out here, because there's some things that just make it hard to take care of, you know, like the metal posts that come down from the top and they're down and there's dirt, and then you got to weed all around them. There's nothing growing there. You just weed around them, or you got to mow over them. I mean, it's just, no. I like things that are easy to take care of, that make sense. They're well designed, form follows function. And so I want to put a deck out here, which will be interesting if I have to do I don't know where I would put a ramp. My son goes, because I got to have foot surgery. He goes, well, looks like grandma needs a ramp. And I told him, just, no, don't even go there. Shut up. I'm not even 68 yet, you know, and you're wanting to build me a ramp. Oh, shut up. Right? I'm telling myself. Anyway, so I've got a great idea to do this deck back here, which will be nice because the west sun comes in here in the summertime and just beats into that area. And because there's that overhang there, it gets disgustingly hot in there. And having the deck will mean I can go ahead and put like a privacy screen up that'll help to filter that sunlight so it's not as intense. Whether it's a shade cloth that I pull down, which might be what I do, something that I can roll back up and not have to worry about the wind ripping it apart like some of these plastic things that people put up that I really don't like those at all. But it'll make it a space that'll be wide enough that I can actually put a table out there and have people over or do artwork out there or whatever. And there will be an entrance onto the porch that won't go on to a little tiny landing, which is out there, right? Just those little landings need to be banned. After doing landscape design and realizing how poor those designs are, you know, you don't want just a little tiny pad that you have to step away down the steps to pull open the door. That's not a good thing. This one isn't quite that bad, but I want to extend the deck out to the edge of the overhang, the patio overhang, and have steps going down to the street, down more towards the street. And then out back, they would be either a ramp, might be a ramp that goes back there to the garden area so that I can go back and garden, and that'll be lovely. So I got that idea, and I think, you know, I'm really glad I didn't do that garden right away, because this way it gives me an opportunity to do more of an integral design, which is what I was trained to do. So I was just like, okay, put the cart before the horse. That's really stupid, girl. You know? Yes, I called myself stupid. What were you thinking, dummy? Yeah, I can get a little ahead of myself. So anyhow, yeah, it was discouraging when the owner said no, I couldn't have my boxes back there, but we got over it, and I'm glad that I was able to sit down. I have great girlfriends at church that have been very gracious and confronting me in love and praying for me much. That's been wonderful. I have met several women who farm in this area that I'm becoming friends with, and that's exciting. I love that. One of them's a sweet gal who she messaged me when we got this bad weather. She goes, "If your power goes out, we'll come and rescue you. You can come over and stay at our house. We don't have water, but we have heat." And I'm thinking, you don't have water? That was funny. I have water for days. So far, I still have heat, so I'm happy. So, but I had two other good friends who offered, so I'd be well taken care of. That warms my heart to know that people would risk their lives to drive over here and pick me up. So yeah, but yeah. So other things that are going on, I became a great grandma. My granddaughter Sierra had a baby. April so 27th, somewhere in there. I have to go back and look. Amelia Rose. Um, she's a spunky little thing. Got dimples, red hair, and just I can't wait to see her. I've only seen her once. I can't wait to see her again. She was in Arkansas. She was born in Arkansas. They came out for a quick visit and went back, so I didn't get to see her, but for just a little bit of time. So I'm looking forward to getting to see actually them because I haven't seen them since they got back here, which was very recently. Because they were living in Arkansas for a year, and they moved both times. They moved in winter. What is wrong with kids? I don't know, but they made it both times, so that was good. Crazy though, crazy. So let's see. I bought the chair I'm sitting in. I had only one chair, my table, my desk for my computer, and a couple of side tables. And then I bought the bookcase that's over here. I really didn't have hardly any furniture. I have my bed and a dresser. So I have also purchased a sofa that should be coming in about 4 or 5 weeks or so, and a rug that I absolutely adore. I do have a video in a short of that. I don't think it's on Instagram. I think it's Facebook. Not Facebook. It's on either on this platform or on Instagram. And it shows that it's a lovely East Indian pattern, but it is in teal and kind of an olive green and a cream color. It's beautiful and it's peaceful. It's the story is you're by a stream or by a river. There's elephants, there's flowers, there's vines. It's glorious and it's restful. Unlike the floor here, which is like modern industrial New York City style. It's got the skyline of pattern of the. Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm glad I'm not having to look at it so much. I love this. I love this rug. So I'm doing really well. I'll be doing some videos here in the future. The first time I did this video, what time is it now? Oh, it's 23. It's almost 25 minutes. I was talking about my bookcase, which is over here, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll take a book off the bookcase. Oh, that'd be a really good idea for a series. Do like, you know, what's in the bookcase or something like that. So I may do something like that. Those will be shorter, you know. I can go through books that I really enjoy. Ones maybe even that I've just bought that I really want to get into. Like there's one about a guy who got into fermentation across the world, and it's like an adventure, and he's got recipes and all kinds of stuff in there. So I'm looking forward to that one. I don't know what else to say. I think that's about all for now. I think I probably better shut this down before it goes clear into 30 minutes again. It's almost 25. But thanks so much for hanging out with me here. I might also do a live stream, but I will give people fair warning well in advance when that happens. So you will know, and you can come and give me a bad time. If I do StreamYard, which I might, I may open up the panel to a couple people, maybe invite a person up or something. We'll see how it goes. I don't know yet. So anyway, I appreciate you hanging out here and catching up, seeing how I'm doing. God has been gracious, and I am doing well. He's given me a lot of good support people, all the help I needed at just the right time. So anyway, God bless y'all, and I'll see you next time. This is Patty the Tinker's wife signing out.